John. How are you, mate?
Yeah, good, thanks. You?
John, you're of a slightly older persuasion like me. Is that up there with some of the scariest classic Spurs performances you've watched?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's just typical Tottenham. I'm not happy unless we're 3-0 up in the 90th minute. And then I think, we have won now. But up until then, it is just typical Tottenham. I mean, I'll give the keeper Forster a free pass on the first one, first mistake in 5 games or whatever he's had. And but I couldn't with the second one. There's just no excuse for that.
And what do you think it is then? So I guess from my point of view, you've got to think that it's Ange Postecoglou saying, no, you've got to always play that way. You've got to always play that way. But surely there has to be some game management thing where you say, unless you've just thrown one in that manner.
Yeah, but if the keeper's not comfortable in that moment, he should be big. He's old enough, experienced enough to get rid of it. And if he gets shouted at by Ange, then tough. He's got to take it. But with both of them, he wasn't under any immediate pressure. It weren't like he got a bad ball and he had to run out and get rid of it as quick as he could. They were his fault, both of them.
I thought the second one, I have to say, I thought the second one, Archie Gray gave him one of those balls where it's on your goal line. So in your head, you're like spending so much time thinking, don't let this go under my foot, that then... Yeah. But once he's got it out of his feet, he just needs to just kick it off for a corner.
Yeah, but he took too long. He was dillying and he dallied on it too long, and you can't do that in today's game.
Is there a way of looking at this and trying to see it as a positive, as like that surely won't happen again?
No, it will happen again. It will happen again with Tottenham. But no, it's a positive. We've won the game. I mean, they didn't have a shot on target until the good save he made from the header in the 63rd minute. Yeah. And I thought we was pretty comfortable throughout in that way. And the big positive for me was, it's Man United. I don't care what sort of form they're in. They're still, a big club. Yeah. And we've got past them. We beat them.
Just want to get in the comments. Hardball Get says, "Oh, for fuck's sake, Barnaby, enjoy the wins." Listen, thank you for your comment, and I understand it. I do, and I am enjoying the win. I'm really glad we're in the semis, but I have to say, it's almost like I'm glad that we're in the semis because of what we would be abused with had we found a way to lose that game. And that is PTSD, isn't it? That is the PTSD from, me being at that Man City game, or, the 22-second handball in the Champions League final from Moussa Sissoko. Like, John, that's what it is, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, my mate, he's a West Ham fan. When it went 3-2, he texted me, this is why Tottenham never win anything. Yeah, and a little bit hard to argue.
John, is this a story brewing though with Ange managing to find ways to change our mentality? Could we win something, or do you, like me, fear that when it comes to big games, a semi or a final, when a bit of adversity comes our way, are we going to find a way to throw it away?
No, I think he's slowly gonna be able to change it. I think he's going to be the best thing that's happened to Tottenham for a long time.
John, I love that.
Given the time, which I think he will be by the ball. I think it's only half the fans that were, social media and that wanting him out. I think he's absolutely brilliant. The football we play, I don't fear anyone anymore.
No.
I know
we're better against the good teams than we are the bad teams.
Yeah, but whereas before I'd fear going to Anfield. And even though we've got a great record against Man City, I still fear when we play them because of the players they've got. But I don't fear anyone anymore. And I've never been, so confident when we go into games. I know it depends what Tottenham turn up. And we can lose to anyone, but we can beat anyone. And with our front five, if they are clinical, they will get the chances. And, I mean, the amount of games we've won, 3-0, 4-0, 5-0 this season, scored more goals than any other team in the Prem. Going forward, it's just brilliant to watch for me.
It is, and look, and maybe this is jumping the gun a bit, but I think what if we were to make a final, and bear in mind we've made a lot of finals in the Poch years, even. If we were to make a final, at least you're going to go into that final. We're going to play this kind of football. We're not going to try and, we're not going to do something bonkers like play Son Heung-min at left wing back like Poch did against Chelsea that year, or try and like nick it on the, try and play 11 men behind the ball. And maybe that's what Ange is talking about in terms of the mentality shift. Is like he has to keep saying you've got to play this way the whole way, because otherwise, the whole time, otherwise you'll get to these big moments and it won't be muscle memory. It won't be natural.
Yeah, no, I agree fully. We just got to keep doing what we're doing. The players are getting more. I mean, I thought the defenders today were all really good.
I agree.
Dragerson, I thought, was great. And Spence, I mentioned him after the last game. Ability-wise, absolutely brilliant. You said earlier on, had a great game. And it's surprising me all the time what he can do with the ball at his feet, with his defending, going forward. He just looks a real deal.
He's so powerful. He is so powerful. And frankly, what a good time for us to have someone that we can really rotate with those fullbacks, because they are, running on fumes. I'm just going to get into the chat a little bit while you're here, if that's all right, John. Melissa Bloom says, Forster's mistakes today do not take away from his brilliant saves. I think he'll improve next time. I really hope so. Wolfie's investment strategies says, everyone is talking post-game like we lost. For sake, the improvement is there. Old Spurs would have lost, and Spurs are slowly changing. We will win those. And he says that word that I refuse to say, those games. That is, I think, a good point. And look, and I've apologized already for being a bit in shock and therefore a little bit negative. But like I said, that's the PTSD. But I think Wolfie has a really good point there. Old Spurs would have lost, wouldn't they, John?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. And one last thing, Archie Gray, he is going to be that good a player. He's one of them players who you'll hardly notice in some games, because he is so comfortable and he's playing like a 30-year-old.
I completely agree. And while I'm talking to you, John, who will remember this, like he could be, I said it the other day, he could be like our next Steve Perryman or Gary Mabbott, someone who comes in at an incredibly young age, plays in every position and ends up being one of our highest appearance makers. Because like you said, and I'm so glad you said it, sometimes the hardest thing to do on a football pitch is to do the easy thing. And he does everything easy and well. Yeah. And there are so many players who feel like they have to try and do something extra. But no, like you said, he just does. He's barely noticeable. He's in the right position. He's clearly incredibly easily coachable. He is a huge talent. And this season, in terms of those boys, Archie Gray, Jed Spence, Lucas Bergvall's leap for that fourth goal. We needed that fourth goal, and he did enough. And this will be huge for these boys going forward.
I mean, the way we're going with the manager, I'm looking forward to next season already.
Yeah.
Because we're going to be that far more forward with the manager and with his game plan. And players.
Hopefully less injuries as well, John.
Yeah. I mean, that's just incredible, the amount of injuries we've got. A lot of teams would completely collapse with the amount we've got.
Exactly. TSOM here says, Gray is an absolute diamond, the best investment this club has ever made. Listen, I think people are starting to realise what we've got in Archie Gray. I really do. And long may it continue, because, like you said, just a brilliant, brilliant young player. Be Good Now 5 says, yep, you're right. We need that muscle memory to know how to lose from a winning position. Okay, you're being sarcastic there. But I think, listen, I don't know. It's not always, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, but I will go with the fact, as what the previous commenter said, that we would have found a way to lose that previously, and we didn't. Billy Four Eyes says, Gray is a very intelligent player. Sydney Moose says, off to the semis. Come on, you Spurs. And RB says, we've won 2 games. A lot of people said we would lose. Guys, keep your comments coming in. I'll keep coming to you. The draw should be coming up relatively soon. Also, give this video a like if you haven't already. Please do press subscribe to Chris's channel and also to mine at @BarnabySlater_. Also, if you would like to appear talking to me after a future episode, as John is now, email tottenhamfanchris@gmail.com. It's really important to us on this channel that everyone gets a voice. And John, you are being praised to the hilt in the comments. Let's just move on quickly, John. Liverpool at the weekend. Liverpool unbeaten this season, pretty much. I know they lost at home to Nottingham Forest, but they're on a great run of form. As you said earlier, we're better against the better teams. We can give them a scare, I would have thought.
Oh, definitely. Like I say, it's all down to us being clinical. If we're clinical, we're going to create chances, and we can beat Liverpool, no problem. But, it's a big if. We've got to be clinical. It's no good having 3 or 4 great chances and we don't put any of them away.
Yeah. Okay, so they're just interviewing Ange Postecoglou. I'm going to listen to this. Ange has got a little wry smile saying, obviously, we made it harder for ourselves than we should have done.
Yeah.
He said, we looked like we were going to manage the game well, but then 2 moments. First one affected Fraser. The second one came as a result of the first one. That makes sense. But he's not throwing Fraser under the bus. You can't.
No, he needs him more than ever.
Who do you want in that semi, John?
I really don't mind. Like the fella before, it would be bad for the heart having Arsenal in the final if we didn't get through the semi. But yeah, I wouldn't mind Arsenal in the semi over 2 legs. Like I say, I don't fear anyone anymore with the attacking football that we play.
All right, John, listen, thank you so much for calling in, and I'll speak to you after that Liverpool game, I hope.
Yeah, great.